Hello and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use FL Studio in the most powerful way that I've learned how to use the program after 14 years of using it. So look, I said this in previous videos, but I'm going to say it again. One of the most important things you can do in FL Studio is build a score bank. Right? Because the first thing that newbies do is they buy the program and then they go hunting for like really good sounds online, and they'll rip sounds, or they'll get free sounds, or they'll buy some sounds. But like that's common sense. Like, people know if you're gonna buy FL Studio, you have to get some sounds. Like, maybe you get some VSTs that come with the program. But I love sound fonts. I like VSTs too, but sound fonts are great, and you should buy some sound fonts. You can get them really anywhere. I think I got most of mine on eBay, and I've bought some directly from websites. But I don't think I've spent more than $100 on all the sound fonts I have, and I have a huge bank. But so what we're focusing on is when you're when you're using FL Studio. A good way to think of it is like you're painting a picture, right? And you have sounds. So if you're making a picture, that would be like the paint you're using is the sounds. But you need strokes to the paint, right? And this is the second most important tip, is building a score bank. Because these are the strokes that are, putting these notes into the piano roll. And you want to develop some good scores, right? You don't want some boring scores. You want to put some time into developing your own scores. And so I've spent a lot of my music, like, it wasn't until after 11 years of using the program that one day I realized, oh my God, like, scores make everything come to life in a way that just wasn't happening before I started focusing on scoring. So get good sounds, and also learn how to write awesome scores, or you can buy them from me. I'll be giving away free ones and uploading some better ones on my website. But so you see, I have a bass line here. And if I want to change this groove, I'm going to mute my other two layers, because I have to replace all the scores on all of them. But it's just the way I'm working with this track here. But so I can drag a score into here, and I can get all kinds of different notes, and I can do it quickly, and I can go back to the original notes that I was using. But I can just go through so many different variations here, and I can play them. But my point is, like, you want to develop a good score bank, right? So when I'm writing tracks, here, I gotta step away real quick. So when I'm writing tracks, I'm getting the best sounds I can find, right? And something that I love to do is have at least one sound that is layered. I always have at least one sound that I will layer the crap out of it, and like that's like the energetic sound. And I might layer other sounds, but I always have like one prime sound that I tend to overlayer. And you don't have to overlayer sounds, but I love working with sound fonts and VSTs and just layering them together. So I have a lead here, and this is kind of a spin off of my last video, but so let me show you what I'm doing here. I have a half layer of this lead that sounds like this, and it's using Fruity Layer, and it's using the first 4 notes. And so I have this lead that's playing here in Fruity Layer, and it's just a simple lead. And then I have what I call a full layer. And this is, so I have a sound font, I have a sound font, I have a 3 oscillator, a 3 oscillator, a sound font, and I have 2 silent synths here. And all the filters, here's the filter on the sound font, on 3 oscillator, I'm using this filter. I'm linking it where you right click and you link to controller. So all the filters on all these and silent, I'm using the filter here. I'm right clicking and I'm linking all of the filters on all these sounds to Fruity Dashboard. And I use the slider preset. So you open up sliders, and then once that slider is open, you can link all of these filters to this one slider. And this will allow you to develop huge sounds. So I have different layers. Like this is the full layer. And then this is a half layer. And the half layer is a little cleaner and a little less warm, which is the way, it adds variation to the track. And then I have another layer, which is this one here, and it's the half layer 1 octave up. So it just sounds, it just sounds a little cleaner and at a higher octave. Now, I showed you the scoring with the bass, and I have just 2 variations of the same bass sound. So I have this, which was a score, and then I have another score. 1 second. And this is the other score, and this is just like an introductory bass line, and it's more wobbly and more offbeat, and it sounds like this. So you can see the difference between the 2 bass lines. And so now the way I start this track is I play just the first bar of the lead for 4 bars, and then I put the full lead in, and I'm using some noise back here, and so I just have a noise sweep using 3 oscillator. And I'm using a sub effects, which was just a sample. I had this mid-bass sample, which is using Citrus, and it's just kind of swinging up and down on the piano roll. And this is actually the same exact bass I used in my last video. I could change it, but I want to show you that if you want powerful sounds in FL Studio, try to keep things simple and focused and use all the really basic techniques. Like, so another really basic technique is, you layer all these sounds together, and some sounds they're too intrusive in the track. And there are parts of the track where you want that sound to punch through, and there are other parts of the track where you want that sound just kind of in the background. So what do you use for that? You use a fader on the main mixer. And so I'm automating the fader on the main lead, and I'm doing that down here. So at first the lead is a little bit louder, and then it dips down around the 9th bar, and then it comes back up right before the break. And so let me just show you. We're automating the tempo, and we're also automating that one filter down here, which is controlling all of those filters on the main lead. And so everything, when it's mixed together, sounds like this. I'm crashing the track here. Let me just start off at the end. Okay, so I'm not going to play the whole track. I just want to show noobs who are using FL Studio, like, try to keep things simple. You don't need millions of automations. You don't need millions of sounds. Just try to focus on what you're trying to accomplish. Like, you're trying to create an evolution of sounds. And it's smart to try and keep things basic. And, you know, you don't have to get crazy with this. You don't have to be like Skrillex. Just, you know, you can focus and just try to keep your sound simple and focused. And just use really basic techniques. Have great sounds. Develop a great score bank. And I'm going to be helping people mainly with scores. I'm not really going to focus much on sounds because a lot of people already have VSTs. If you need places to buy sound fonts, like, I can just tell you in videos in the future, I'm not going to be selling any sounds. But I will be selling some of my best scores, because I think this is what newbies need to focus on, and amateurs and even pros. Like, you can never have enough quality scores, and you don't want thousands and thousands of scores. You don't want to be scrolling endlessly. Like, just take all your cream of the crop on really good stuff and just save them in folders. And if they're good scores, like, it's amazing how your music will just take off and sound really good. But those are my main tips for this video, and I'll be giving away free scores in future videos. Probably my next video I'll be giving away a few free scores. So if you like the videos, please like the videos and subscribe. Alright, thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.